A very Am I visible, ma'am? A very heartily good morning to one all here. It gives and warmth, and I am thoroughly pleased to witness you all here with tremendous contentment. I am Bulbul Paul from MCA first year. Welcome you all on behalf of Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Management and Research for online workshop on ServiceNow cloud-based workflow automation platform. On behalf of the institution, I offer my regards to all my friends for joining us. It's a pleasure for me to introduce a great personality, Mr. Rajkishore Prasad sir. We are fortunate to have Mr. Rajkishore sir today with us as he will be enlightening us on the topic ServiceNow cloud-based workflow automation platform. Sir is having 10 years of experience. Currently, he is working as a solution architect at Wipro Limited. Sir is passionate for technology, development, and working on new things that bring value. You will be glad to know that Sir has number of awards in his feather to mention. To mention a few, Partner Award from Client, Outstanding Performer Award, and accolades from customer. Sir is currently working on application, workflow, and UI configuration, end-to-end execution of ServiceNow based implementation and integration projects, managing upgrades, prepare all client-facing and internal deliverables that are technology related, lead requirement gathering workshops for use case identification and value-based acceptance criteria, mentor resources in implementation methodology, configuration, adopt best practices. It's a pleasure to have such a leading personality with us. Now, I kindly request our beloved director, Dr. Meghna Billare ma'am, to virtually felicitate Mr. Rajkishore Prasad sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Mr. Rajkishore sir to share his thoughts.
Hi all, a very good morning to all of you. I know this is Saturday. For us, it is a weekend, but when I think I got an opportunity from D.Y. Patil to share some sort of knowledge on ServiceNow, I couldn't resist myself, and I have offered I would definitely help my colleagues, my teammates, future teammates to introduce a ServiceNow technology. I think this is one of the great introduction that has ever given to me. These are so kind words that has been shared by a presenter. It is not you need not to take me that much seriously. I have completed my MCA from D.Y. Patil from 2008 to 2011. At that time, the Shraddha ma'am, Sikha ma'am, means Poonam Kadam, these were all part of that session, and I am very much I can say I am very proud that I am part of Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Management Research. I have secured 72.72% in MCA, and I can also tell you, like, I don't belong to a technology background. My graduation was in history. Then I have cracked Maharashtra CET, secure 66 rank, and then opted D.Y. Patil. So from there, my journey has been started. and now I am working in Wipro as a solution architect. And I have worked not only in Wipro. I have started my career in Wipro, Pune-based company, that is Vyom Labs. After that, I made a switch, joined HCL, Noida. Then again, I have joined a 200 years old product-based organization, that is Bungie. Then I have moved to Wipro. So I am working in Wipro from last 1 year, and this is all about a journey from my side. Feel free to ping me. I am available on LinkedIn. I like encourage people's like who wanted to make a career in development. When I was in my college days, I was a core Java developer guy, and um, I like to do code, and I know means how to make most out of the things which we have in our syllabus, or all the open source technologies and these all things. So feel free to ask questions. I don't want to keep a PPT based session, rather than this is going to be a completely interactive session. In case if any one of you wanted to understand how to take that things, means any apart from ServiceNow, if you wanted to know any questions that is going to give you confusion, or you don't understand the things, please feel free to ask me. This is all about me. Thank you. So, ma'am, shall I begin with the presentation, or means shall I go ahead with the workshop, or is there any other
Yes, sir.
thing?
Yes,
Okay,
sir. You go ahead, sir.
okay. So, I the very first thing that I would like to understand, maybe you can just chat, or like if you let's say if I ask, like, do you know ServiceNow, do you know cloud, what all things you know, then please just paste us, so that I could acknowledge, like, okay, you are following me and I am up to the mark. Okay. So I think let me share my screen. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about, I am going to open a page of ServiceNow. So this is the technology. This is the website, and I would like to tell you, like, what is this ServiceNow. So before knowing ServiceNow, we need to understand what is organization. So let's say we are freshers. We don't know, like, after 2 years or after 1 year, when we join any organization as a software developer, what we are going to do. So very first thing, like, when you are going to join any IT based organization, whether it is going to be a product based organization or service based organization, organization term always comes to you. And organization term can, have their own meaning by different users. Let's say, being a software developer, we see organization where we are going to put whatever we have learned in the colleges. Let's say many of you going to learn Microsoft technology, many of you going to learn Java based technology, many of you interested in cloud. These all technologies work together for an organization. Let's say I work for Wipro is a service based organization. When I joined here, then I need to work for a client. So my client is an Australian bank. So what I am going to do for that Australian bank, I am definitely, they have an application, means enterprise application service now, and I do some sort of coding, integration, data load, data cleanup, cloud management. These all things I am going to do for service now. So ServiceNow is an organization, Australian bank, that is an organization, Wipro itself an organization. So each organization going to have some sort of services, and these services need to be managed. So for an example, let's say the HR services. So let's say if new employee gets onboarded, what all things that new employee going to do? He need to have their access. He need to get some sort of credentials, he needs some sort of cloud storage, he need a mobile device, he need a workstation. So organization always want that let's say how to automate those things. So definitely if you wanted to know the organization, the respective automations, and how application that is going to solve the business problem, so here ServiceNow come into the picture. So ServiceNow is a cloud-based application. In a nutshell, cloud itself a very big term. Means if I go deeper into the cloud, I may lose crux of the ServiceNow. So I am sticking to the ServiceNow part. So let's say if you want to develop an application, so what you are going to do? Let me do that. Let's say if I want to create a application, so what all I need to do? Let me open a board over here. So in order to create any sort of application, you need two things. First, you need infra. Infra means computer system. That could be server, network, database. Then you need a programming language like C, Java, anybody, Microsoft. Then you need someone like a person who is going to assemble these all things. You need requirement, what need to be developed, and all those things. So when you are going to have these all things, at the same time, you need a mechanism to manage those. Like let's say today 10 users are connected to your system. Let's say after 10 days your system become popular and 100 user is going to access them. So accordingly, let's say earlier your system was running into 1.6 gigahertz of uh, uh, processor and 532 MB of RAM. No longer this is going to be supported. This going to increased by 4 times, this going to increase by 8 times. So what is going to happen? You need to manage those infrastructure. So at the same time, let's say being an organization, they don't want to spend so much resources on managing these sort of things. So they build a mechanism who can run on the cloud. Cloud means you need not to worry about underlying infrastructure, and you need to use as a service. So these are the concepts that you need to understand, like what is the service, what is the infrastructure, what is the scalability. So service now need not, you know, ask you to take care of all those underlying performance or infrastructure related things. You only go purchase that application and you need to start using it. There are going to be couple of users for an application. Let's say I have purchased a ServiceNow instance. If I say ServiceNow instance, what is means? Let's say this is an application. Here you can see this is a ServiceNow based application. So the person who has purchased this, they can access this instance. So this is an application which is deployed on a server which is hosted on the cloud. You need not to manage all the underlying complexities. So this is how I can see this as an enterprise application. So let's say this is a ServiceNow based application. So this application is going to have couple of users. First user is going to be employee of that organization. Second sort of user is going to be the developers. Each employee has their own they belong to different department, like they belong to HR has their own function. Let's say someone belong to IT, IT has their own function. Let's say that particular organization has uh, uh, business management, like marketing. So marketing person also want to use the same application. At the same time, developer is going to receive the requirement from all these departments, and they do develop the code, and they develop respective pages. Let's say for HR, you are going to create their own requirement. For IT people, they are going to ask you to create a requirement. Let's say, I am going to just give you an example. Let's say there is an organization called Wipro, for an example. Let's say if new person going to join Wipro, he need a laptop. So this person, how this person would get a laptop? If let's say there are 10,000 employee joined one day in an organization, and if they all go to that IT department and ask for the laptop, it cannot be manageable, because in order to grant a laptop, there are certain checklists like approval from the manager, uh, approval for the budget. These all things come into the picture, and they come here and they are going to ask for an interface where they can place a request to get a laptop, and that request go through several desks. Let's say I am a new joinee, I go there, I open their website, register a request to get a laptop. So once I have submitted, my request will go to my manager. My manager will check, okay, I am approving this request. From this, it is going to uh, uh, IT procurement team. They will say whether laptop is there in the stock or not. Let's say laptop is there in the stock. Then what they will do? It will again go to uh, logistic department will check whether user has their home address or not. Now everything is filled. Now it is going to some sort of third party, let's say DHL or any courier agency, and they submitted laptop to my home, and now I need to acknowledge that okay, my laptop has been received. So if this request go to again IT, they will say that okay, this request has been fulfilled. So see, this is the complexity in one particular process, just granting the laptop. There could be n number of processes that an organization has, and that need to be managed without any issue and by following all the business rules and processes. That's why in order to support these all request forms and all those things, organization don't want an medium where they need to do some sort of things from the scratch, because maintainability is again a question. So that's why this rapid application development tool has been built, and ServiceNow is one of them. So I am just taking a pause over here and just wanted to know like what all things you have understood or not, or do I need to explain it from again? Am I clear so far or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the purpose of having a rapid application tool, where you need less time to develop a good solutions. If I say good solutions, means solution has to be robust, error free. Then third thing is that this can be accessible like from the mobile, laptop, any other medium. Let's say desktop. Let's say if somebody is going to have a what to say, some sort of IoT enabled device, this should also accessible. So it should be accessible, maintainable, and again it's follow all the business checklist or policy. So, and you need to design it very quickly. So that's why we have that sort of applications infrastructure that is called ServiceNow. So basically ServiceNow is an application which can be used by multiple users across the organization at the same time to develop the solutions. We often refer it as a platform of platform. And why means I thought like you guys should learn. Reason being, currently this is the market leader. 70% of the IT service management industry is using this ServiceNow application. More than 70% customer. They, if you want to learn ServiceNow, you can easily get an instance. You need not to pay anything. There is an URL. See, there is a developer.servicenow.com. I am going to just copy it and going to paste it to in the chat window, so that if anybody want an instance to practice what is a ServiceNow, you can log in here. ServiceNow will grant you a cloud-based application uh, to you to learn, and accordingly you can use that. So this is the URL. Simply, if you are going to do over there, it asks you to register. Let me again show it to you, means how this is going to work. Let's say I'm going to open incognito window, developer.servicenow.com. And here you need to sign in and you can get an instance. Once you get an instance of this ServiceNow, ServiceNow has a very good community and very good learning material. If you see, they have the learning path, they have tutorials, they have certifications, they have all the things, and this will help you to understand after 1 year or after 2 years, when you get placed into any organization, how an organization is going to work as far as their IT infrastructure is concerned. So whether you work on the Java technology, where you are going to work in any other technology, Microsoft.NET, they have a platform inside their organization to manage all those IT services. So that is the scope of the ServiceNow. That's why I thought to tell you, like, okay, this is the place where you can start learning. And if I am going to show you the capability, what all things you can do with this tool. So again, I am going to go with my board and I am going to show you. I'm going to zoom it. I would like to tell you what any enterprise application must have. So any enterprise application, they should be having user experience interface. So if I say user experience and notification services, so let's say if I am talking about any enterprise application, they should have a user experience interface. ServiceNow has a connect interface, workspace interface, push interface. Push means all those. Let's say if you're going to open your mobile, you used to receive a notifications by using your Android or Apple. So that is normally in IT industry, we say that is the push notifications, where servers who deployed that particular application, let's say Google Play, that keep pushing the things into your app. So that is called push interface. Again, the SMS interface means your application should be able to communicate with the SMS gateways. So this particular, if you are going to start using or if you learn ServiceNow, you can use all these feature: workspace, push, SMS, service portal. I am going to come one by one, like what is this SMS, service portal, email. Email means let's say you want to develop a application where you need to send a notification. There might be several types of notification you are going to send to a user or any other uh, person who is a part of organization. Let's say I am going to purchase a laptop, so using Amazon. So as soon as I place order to purchase a laptop, I am getting notified like, okay, this order has been submitted. So definitely there should be a developer who must have written the code to send an email and all those things. So this application, any enterprise application, like any other application, this service now also have a very good email notification system. You can have their own app, or you can develop the app using for mobile and all those things. So for user experience, all the leading enterprise application, let it be Oracle, Microsoft, Google, all has to comply with this sort of things. So this has this all mechanism. For developers, you have your own developer instance where you can develop, deploy. So you need to only develop and click on a button like deploy. Your changes will reflect it throughout the instance, and any person who is accessing it within a fraction of second, he should be able to see the changes. If you are developer, you know what is the usage of Git integration. So Git is a platform who manages the version and deploy the code into your development instance. This also has a facility to provide automated testing. A studio IDE means integrated development environment. This tool provide you a studio where you are going to work and develop the things like a pro. You have all the features, like if you have worked on the Java, there is a NetBeans IDE. So this IDE is a platform for developers where they can do the code without any issue. So for developers, they have instance data replication. Often, since you are in the first year, but when you go into the actual working environment, all instances, like we normally say instance means the system where persons are going to do the code, and not only one developer across the globe work into that instance. So at any moment, let's say there are hundred of developers working on a project, so there is a chances that some accidental things can happen. So your instance is getting replicated to any backup server. So a good developer tools should also allow you to replicate the data. So this service now provides you the instance data replication, so that in case of any accidental mishap, you can back up your data. Code sharing facilities there, delegated development is there. So these all features that service now is going to provide. If you want to working on of any IDE, like it support Ajax, it support JavaScript, Visual Studio Code extension, a script debugger, Bootstrap, HTML, CSS, AngularJS, you can apply your skills over here to develop the things as well as learn the things. Let's say I am just going to give you an example. Let's say there are 60 students in a particular batch. Not all are going to be very good in development. There might be some persons who want to see their career as a business analyst. They want to design the system. They don't want to do the int, float, char, integer, these all the things. So this instance also provide them a low code or no code way of developing the things. So if without writing a single line of code, you can develop the interface, you can develop the entire solutions. So this particular platform ServiceNow has this all flexibility. You can develop the code just by using drag and drop, and you create the form, you can create the visits, you can design your portal without writing a single line of code. So this instance has these all sorts of flexibility. This has UI builder, means user interface builder, portal designer, flow designer, virtual agent. I am going to give you a bit of information on the virtual agent. Virtual agent is nothing but, let's say, when you are going to open any automated chat assistance tools. So this chat assistance tools, let's say if you want to communicate to a bot who is serving some sort of services to you. Let's say when you're if you're using an Apple mobile, if you say, hey Siri, so Siri is nothing but Siri is not actual lady, but she is an automated bot who is going to understand your voice command, interpret using your natural language processing units, and respond accordingly. So this is all about, there is a virtual agent who is serving the purpose. So this instance going to provide you a way to develop your own virtual agent, and that can serve the purpose. Let's say if you want to purchase a, if you want to request a new mouse for your laptop and you are in the organization, so you need not to go there, open a website and just open that particular request form and submit, like, okay, I want a, new mouse. You simply say like, hey agent, can you please place a order to get me a mouse? He will do all the background coding, and he will understand your intent and convert it into a request, take input like, okay, tell me your name, tell me your employee ID. And why I am giving you an example of this, let's say if you are in a college and a college want to have a system where they want to automate the things, you can create a project for your college and implement these all things just for a demo purpose, to learn like how virtual agent is going to work, or how natural language processing is going to work. So these all features you can learn in this service now without spending a single rupees. This is the best part of the service now. Like for learners, for a student, ServiceNow is providing the infrastructure to learn. It has the mobile studio. Let's say if you want to design an app for your application, you can simply design it. All the table, schema, like table to table relationship, the UI policies, like if you want to read only the fields, hide the fields, you must have worked on the project, then you would know how important the validations are on the user interface level. This is quite easy. You need not to write the code. You like if you're working on the Java and all those things in HTML, you are going to go through the document object model component and you are manipulating the property. This all features you can learn and you can use. It also has some sort of backbones like natural language understanding processor, virtual agent, operational intelligence, performance forecasting. Performance is again a big thing. When you learn or grow, you would be knowing. Machine learning. If machine learning a new concept, but ServiceNow has accommodated it, and you can apply your skills of machine learning into your application development. So this is a platform that this all features ServiceNow is going to give you under one roof. For any organization, reporting is the key part. Let's say how many requests has been received, how many approval has been received. For any department, reporting is the key thing. So it has the reporting engine as a core services. CMDB, you might not be knowing what is the CMDB for the time being. CMDB is nothing but for any organization, some record need to be there. Let's say I am an organization, I have 5 servers, 6 CPU, 10,000 keyboard, 5,000 mouse, these all things, and I want to store it. Like Raj Kishore using this laptop, this person using this laptop. So this is not a configuration management database. All the configuration and item of your organization must be stored in a relational matter. So using some relationships. Let's say who using what, who depends on with, so like this all things. So it has a CMDB. It has integration hub also. Integration means, let's say you are creating an application and you want to know the temperature. Your application is going to give you an idea about what is the current temperature of the city. How would you show in your website? Definitely, meteorological department has their web services API, which take an input like, okay, give your city pin code. If you provide that city pin code, data will travel using REST API, and it will give you a response like, okay, for this particular city, this is a temperature. You need to simply call that web services, integrate it, and you can have your dynamic page in place. So this is the one of the core services, like integration of time series database. Not all database of same type, there is a time series database. Time series database means on a particular timeline, what event has occurred, you can easily prepare a report. So this also is there. There is a knowledge management, service catalog. I will come to that particular things later on, like what is the knowledge management, so what is the service catalog. Now I am coming to what this means, what all the different security models and how ServiceNow is going to provide you. There is an encryption facility, tokenization, MFA, multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication you must be knowing. Let's say if you are going to access your Gmail, first it's asking for your password, then it's going to give you a message on your mobile device and asking you to approve. So this is how multi-factor authentication come into the picture. OAuth 2.0, SAML, password policies, antivirus scanning, SSO, that is called single sign-on, LDAP, access control list, roles. These all things means a standard application should have, and ServiceNow is going to give you all these sorts of things. Even if you see what all the integration services is there, it has remote table, action designer, data streaming, a spokes and hub, PowerShell command you can execute. You can execute JDBC connection. You can use e-bonding API. You use a JSON like JavaScript object notation. You can use XML technology, web services, REST. So if you want to connect with your Linux system, SSH connectivity is going to happen. Mid server, I will come later. You can import the data, you can export the data. So this is the universe of ServiceNow from a developer point of view. I don't want to give you a picture like how business users see this ServiceNow, because I am not selling license to you guys. I am just portraying here like these all concepts, not all concepts, but couple of concepts definitely you are going to learn in your next year of syllabus. Like you would be knowing what is Ajax, what is JavaScript, what do you mean by a script debugger, what is the HTML, CSS. So how you are going to practice it. So for practice purpose, yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah, sorry, ma'am.
We started the session. I was not there, to just sort of wishing you good morning, and thanks for this session, because I'm seeing that this will be very much beneficial to our students. So thank you, Rajkishore,
Thank you, Sikha, ma'am. No
because I
problem.
was
It's always my pleasure.
गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग। बहुत अच्छा लगा कि तुम बहुत अच्छे से बिल्कुल बता रहे हो बच्चों को, एंड द students must realize that Rajkishore is an alumnus of our institute. In the introduction part, I think they might have covered that. And on just a single message, he was ready for everything. Yes, ma'am, aunga na, aap just bolo. So that sort of association we have, and going at certain level, मतलब Rajkishore कितना आगे गया है अपनी मेहनत से. So very happy for you, Rajkishore.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। सब आप लोग का आशीर्वाद है मैम।
नहीं नहीं, तुम लोग की मेहनत है, एंड स्टूडेंट्स लाइक यू मेक अस प्राउड। तुम लोग आगे जाते हो तो ऑब्वियसली वो फीलिंग आती है कि यस, एंड इतना बिजी होने के बाद भी, सब कुछ अपना होने के बाद भी, स्टिल यू आर मतलब जस्ट ऑन कॉल यू वर सेइंग कि हाँ, जस्ट अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कुछ भी कभी भी। सो दैट इज द फीलिंग एंड दैट इज द एसोसिएशन दैट वी एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स, दैट यहाँ से जाने के बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ अपना ही पर्पस सॉल्व किया, अपना काम हुआ, अपना प्लेसमेंट हुआ और टाटा बाय बाय। इट शुड बी लाइक वो एसोसिएशन, वो बॉन्डिंग फील होना चाहिए, और टीचर्स को जो वैल्यू ये लोग करते हैं वैसा ही सबसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं हम लोग। सो थैंक यू राजकिशोर, इट इज वेरी नाइस, कंटिन्यू। मेरा थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू है, शायद बीच में लॉग आउट हो जाऊं, सो जस्ट वांटेड टू विश यू, एंड स्वाति मैम यू कैन कंटिन्यू।
शिखा मैडम, एक राजकिशोर का सेशन फैकल्टी के लिए भी रख लेते हैं।
यस
कभी भी मैम, कभी भी।
ठीक है राजकिशोर, कंटिन्यू. हाँ, थैंक यू.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. So I am coming on the point, like I am working in Wipro as a solution architect. What my role is, let's say when I meet with the customers, my objective is to sell the product and how this solution is going to serve them as a best solution out of their competitors. But when I am talking to you, I am seeing you as a my colleague, my teammates, maybe my junior, maybe my brother and sister. So why I am suggesting you to learn ServiceNow? Because whatever skill you are going to learn in your career, this will gives you an opportunity to execute that. You are going to use this, you are going to learn this, and you are going to make your own solution. You can use it for demo, do whatever you can do, and ServiceNow is going to give you that sort of platform where you can do the practice. It has their knowledge book. I am going to tell you, see, this is how when you are going to log in here, it will give you an instance. So this is the instance. You can see there are so many applications that has been built out of here. See, these all are applications. And let's say when you go or join any organization, what is going to happen? 1 minute. Let me side that. I am coming to you what is the service catalog, or let's say I am a new joiner for any organization or any institute. When I go there, company asks me to submit a request. This is pretty much common. Even when you submit any registration of your college or do anything, you are going to fill the form and all those things. So see, this is the service portal. And why I was giving an example, you can design your own page. Like, how can you help? You can just brand it. Instead of here ServiceNow, you can use your own logo, you can create your own menu, you can create your own catalog. Let's say if I want to request something, I have just clicked over there. I go there, let's say here the hardware, desktop, executive desktop. Normally when you go to the organization, this sort of laptop you need to request. So let's say by default your name would be there, what CPU you want, what memory you want, and you, let's say up here it's saying hard drive 1 GB, memory 1 GB. I don't need 2 GB, I need 2 GB. I want Red Hat Linux. Let's say I have a special requirement like I need admin credentials. I am going to go there and going to order now. Here it asking me delivery information, special instruction. Let's going to check it out. I have just checked out it, and see, my request has been submitted. So you can design like that. This is not I am showing just for the demo purpose. You can go there and you can see this RITM has been created. So for you, this might be a form where you are going to this type of field, this type of field, and all those things. But this all things that you can develop over here. Let's say if I go there, and if I want to search, see, I can see another view of the same application. That was for the end user. This is for the person who is actually serving the purpose. Most of the time when you are going to create a project, you want a repository to create users. So normally you are going to create a table in your Oracle or any other database that you might be using. But when I was fresher also, I was creating table. But in organization, user information is not stored in any table. This is going to stored in the Active Directory. And Active Directory, if any application who want that data, he need to connect their application to Active Directory, and Active Directory giving them information under certain circumstances. Not all data should be visible to all the users. I am going to give you an information like how user data is going to be stored. So this gives you an idea like how real world application or how real world data going to be look like. See, these are the demo data. See, in organization, how a normal user data is going to be stored. It's going to have user ID, first name, last name, title, department, password need to reset, whether it need to be logged out, active, whether this is the integration user, what is the email address, what all language, calendar, time zone, date format. These all things you need to design for the customer. And let's say what all role, what all groups he want to part of, these all things, delegate, these all things you would come to know when you go to the joining. I am going to give you an example like what is delegate purpose. Let's say I am a manager of 5 employee. For any reason, I am going out for 10 days, but my employee may not be go out. Let's say if they need to place a request to get some sort of assistance, maybe their salary hasn't come correctly. I am not there. So what they will do, they will go there and submit a request by saying that, okay, their salary is not accurate. But since I am out, who is going to approve their request? Their salary part or their some urgent part might get delayed. So in that case, I don't want that my employee will suffer when I go out for any my personal reasons. So I will mark anyone as a my delegate. So this all sorts of feature you need to develop as a developer. But definitely developer's job is to not think the business use cases. There are business analysts who will give you a requirement to implement it. So from developer point of view, how you would design the a form, how you would design the fields, how you would write the validation, this all you things you need first, like how to create a blank form, how to embed the fields, how to apply the validation. So I'm going to give you a bit idea. See, go make a right click, go configure form design. See how easy in the service now to develop all the things. Now you get an ID, web-based ID, where you are going to design the form. Let's say if you want to create a new form, new field. So using this simple method, you can create the complex form and complex validations. I am going to take you through, because this is the first thing that you all developers is going to do when you start your projects. See, this is how my form design looks like. A form can have different view, like for portal this has different view. So view means like there are 4 users. One user belong to HR, one user belong to, let's say, IT, one user belongs to admin. Why I am saying this, like what is the role of view? Let's say I am a person who belongs to IT department. For an employee, I only need like, okay, what is his email address, what is his phone number, and how many laptops he has. For IT person, I only need this information. Maybe for HR, they would be knowing like how many family members, what all policy they have purchased, what is the insurance, what is their salary package, and all those things. So here each person's need separate view, so that data should be secure among the organizations also. See here, let's see, if I want to create a new field, I can create a field of type, let's say uh, uh, what I can do that, let's say URL. Let's say I'm going to take a field of URL, and I can mention that, okay, LinkedIn URL. Here I'm going to give it name as a LinkedIn URL. I want to not make them mandatory, and that's fine. I am going to save it. I have just created a field on the form, and if you want to simply go there and refresh this page, you will see that a LinkedIn URL field has been appeared over here. This is this much simple. Why they have made this simplicity over here? Because you need not to worry about how to do. You need to worry about what to do. We have complex workflow. I'm going to also give you a workflow. Let's say these all things are the part of workflow. I have submitted the workflow, and let me show you. Let's say I have submitted a request, and I want to see how this is going to progress. I can simply go there and I can see work. I can go and I can find workflow editor. Here you can design the workflow. Workflow means, let's say if as I earlier told you in an example, like let's say if an employee going to submit a request to get a laptop, so what all process he has to go through. So let me find if we have any workflow for laptop asset. Standard change proposal, password reset. Let's say I'm going to give an example of change request. Change request means, let's say if you want to change, make a change in any application, how process wise you should go. So here see, it's like it will begin, it will create an approval, it will move for some time, then again it move for implement, then it will take a decision, again it call a sub workflow, and now it ends. Like okay, it has ended over here. Like this workflow can also automate you. There are so many workflow is there. I have just given you one example like how this workflow is going to be. Or see grant role delegate. See here it like automatically approve the request, grant role. Here you can write a code to just, if you want to use some sort of a scripting, you can use that also. So there's so much thing to learn in ServiceNow, but these all are capability from the developer point of view. So here see, you can write your own code, and mostly these codes that you are going to write, it is mostly in the JavaScript. So here if you want to execute some code and you want to test, there are some sort of interface also. Let's say script background. Here let's say if I want to print something, so I need to use his own API, and if I want to print hello world, it will print. If you want to write a code for loop or something, let's say for where I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus gs dot print the value of I. Again See, this is how normally you can execute your JavaScript and all those things. If you want to integrate, we have REST messages also. So REST and SOAP you can configure here. You can see the Yahoo Finance. You can simply call your own endpoints and you can execute it. If you want to test it, there are like free REST APIs for City. So you can use those APIs and you can learn how to get City information and all those things in that API. So these all things you can learn. So how you are going to learn, or if you're really interested to learn ServiceNow, there are communities like community.servicenow.com. You can post your questions. There are certain learning paths are there. If you explore there, here is an option new to ServiceNow. You go there and see the learning plans. You can go there and start learning points, and you can see these all things are there. About this personal development stance, obtain a personal getting around in ServiceNow. It has a very good introduction. That's why I don't spend like what is this and what is. I have given you a path how you can go there, you start learning and you start exploring all the practices, that the concept that you will be learning in your upcoming classes. You can practice it over here. So I think for the timing I am done now. It's a question answer time. Like if anybody has any question, feel free to ask me. Then if required, I will pitch in and give you answer for that.
Yes, students, any questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you're
Yes,
pretty
Amitesh.
much audible to me.
So as you said earlier that about product-based companies and service-based. So what do you think which is best option to choose right now? As a fresher, we are thinking we are in first year MCA. So what should we plan right now, that which option should we go for?
See, I cannot give you a very direct answer for this, but I can give you my experience on that part. When I was in fresher, when I went to the third year, there were two types of situations. There are some company who is visiting to your campus. They have their own aptitude test. They have their own selection criteria, and if you are going to crack them, they will onboard you. There are also some companies who post their requirement. No matter whether it is a product based organization or service based organization, they are going to give you a requirement. Like we have a requirement for 2 developers who should be good in Microsoft technology, .NET technology, database, network, and all those things. If you know like where you want to go, like if you are a core Java developer, you want to make your career in Java technology or in new technology, which suits you, or which you know that you have good command over it. I don't think like sitting in placement will serve the purpose. You need to find the organization who is having an opportunity. You need to go there and you need to just crack the interview. If they think that okay, you have the skill that may fulfill their requirement, they will onboard you. But when you go into the campus, you get recruited, what is going to happen? Like us, let's say I am inside the organization. When I go to take a campus placement, I go there and I know the list of projects. Like this project has this much vacancy, this project has this much vacancy, this project has this much vacancy. I need to take a candidate who is right, who can be trained into that particular technology. When you go inside the organization, by campus placement, you don't have control in which technology you are going to work on. This is completely your luck. And mostly product based organization give very less chance for freshers. If you say like whether product based organization or service based organization, for freshers product based organization is going to be very good, but opportunity are very less. Product based organization doesn't have bench, they don't have that much of infrastructure to groom you as a fresher, rather than they will hire you and they will start engaging with you, some senior guy as a shadow resource, and you are going to learn the thing. Now I think your question is where you need to focus on. You needn't, I won't suggest you to focus on what type of organization you should welcome in your life. You should focus on what sort of a skill you should welcome in your life, where you want to see your career, what is your strong area.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any questions, students?
Ask me, like
Okay.
it need not to necessary that it should be from ServiceNow. Like what is your challenges, any issue that you're facing, you can ask, like I don't mind.
Actually, all the questions are clear. I think so.
Or there might be also another side of the picture that nothing.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Not like that. No, sir. Bulbul?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start.
Thank you, sir, for your informative words. Really, it was an amazing session. This session has provided us all the essential knowledge about how a company uses cloud computing technology to manage projects and keep a track of every information. This will be really useful for us. I'm sure our attentive audience would have surely learned a lot from this session. Now, I would like to thank our director, Dr. Meghna ma'am, Associate Director, Dr. Vishal Vadashkar sir, MCA HOD ma'am, Dr. Shikha Dubey ma'am, and all faculty members for organizing this informative session. I also extend my thanks to my dear student friends to present on this online platform. Last but not the least, I extend my immense pleasure on behalf of our institute and all participants to our today's guest, Mr. Raj Kishore sir, for delivering such a wonderful session on cloud-based workflow automation platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Can we all switch on our videos and have a photograph?
Yes.
Yes. Please switch on your cameras.
The 130 students that we have for this session, we have for this class. I'm sure that these 50 students, those who have taken the benefit out of this session, will really do something. And बाद में कभी जब हम alumni को बुलाएंगे तो इनमें से ही किसी को बुलाएंगे, because they actually feel that warmth and belongingness for the institute. Rest तो online में you understand Raj Kishore, it is like ठीक है, just उतना concern बच्चे नहीं feel करते.
अब नहीं मैम, इन लोग के सामने भी बहुत तरह के चैलेंज रहते हैं कि सिलेबस, पेंडेमिक, प्लेसमेंट, बहुत सारी चीजें रहती है फर्स्ट ईयर।
वो सारी चीजें होते हुए भी when I say in class that you have to attend, तो 75 से धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली अटेंडेंस कम हो रही है, 55 तक पहुंच रही है। सैटरडे है, और सबसे ज्यादा जो इशू है वो हमारे वर्किंग स्टूडेंट्स का है। अबाउट 10 to 15 स्टूडेंट्स आर वर्किंग, तो वो लोग वर्किंग हैं तो कॉलेज की कोई एक्टिविटी में पार्टिसिपेट ही नहीं करते हैं, बट देन इट्स देयर लॉस, 100% देयर लॉस। Thank you, Raj Kishore. I hope you have met all the
Thank you. Very nice session.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
It's really nice.
I will definitely connect with you in future because I'm taking cloud computing.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, anytime. Thank you, ma'am.
Have you taken the photograph?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Bye all. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Bye,
Shikha ma'am.
sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rupal ma'am. Thank you, Shraddha ma'am. Thank you all students. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this amazing session. I think.
Thank you. Have a nice day, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye.